Hello and welcome to the People Do That podcast.
On this podcast, we're going to talk to people that do epic shit with their lives.
These are people that are good at life. We will talk to life coaches, sports broadcasters, fitness experts, Marine special ops, and even someone who became a doctor after the age of 50. Because you know what?
People do that.
People do that?
People do that.
Well, I give you just a little bit, I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. The sugar tastes sweet, coffee in the pot. Now give me just a little bit, just a little bit. Give me just, yeah, now.
Hey guys, what's up? Here we are.
Back at it like a crack addict.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's
I don't
good
know
to
how
see
to
you.
respond to that. That's the first time I've heard that one.
Is there any surprise that the solo episode is just blowing up early off the charts?
No.
I told you a long time ago.
Yes.
People are going to want to just listen to us talk about nonsense.
And I think that people are going to get super sick of us. So
I lean more that direction. I thought that was a bad idea. Abort.
I think we got a good blend, but I do think that the solo podcast, it was a really good one. It was a really good one. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm a couple behind. But as I told JJ, I was there the first time, so I
You kind of remember.
kind of remember that stuff. But
So you did. I mean, this is breaking news
Yes,
that you've been
yes.
withholding. So a couple segments ago,
Yes.
episodes ago, we had Tom McMullen,
Yes.
astrologer extraordinaire,
astrological consultant.
astrological consultant, and
Yes.
you
Yeah.
played the role as skeptic for
Yeah.
the day, but also, to be honest, you just weren't quite sure about the whole thing. And little did we know, you were texting Tom, setting an appointment, and
Yep.
you got back from that appointment hours ago?
Hours ago.
Tell us about
I had my appointment today. Yeah. So as he explained, like he's booked out months in advance, right? So it was a good. I mean, God, he was on 8 weeks ago. So I went today. JJ's going on Friday. My mom's excited. She wants to go.
Let's go.
She was inspired by it. She really liked the story about the 80-year-old woman and him kind of walking her through her life and stuff.
that's awesome.
And she was inspired by that. So she was excited that I was going as well. And yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. Like just as you explained it, you walk in very comfortable. He did have the crystal ball, which was awesome. That made me feel good.
Yes,
That's a real thing.
That's a real
Yes, it
thing.
did. Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't use it.
He asked me if I wanted to touch his ball.
Is that real too?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my
He
God.
told you he was funny.
Yes.
Right? He came in and he said,
Right.
I'm pretty funny.
I'm funny.
Right.
I'm
And
good
he
at tennis and I'm pretty funny.
Right.
No, as I re-listened to his podcast or to his when he was here, yeah, like a lot of the things just resonated. So as I was walking in, had some expectations, but really still at the end of the day, like what I'd heard him, break you down enough just from from his what was it, the time of birth,
yeah.
and then city and state.
Does he explain like what each of those mean? Like, why do you need to know the time that I was born?
Yeah, so he had his chart, so everything was lined up, and I'll butcher this thing as well as anybody, right? But as far as all the stars being aligned and Venus being in retrograde and blah blah this stuff and and then based off.
Did he get a good look at Uranus?
Okay, the maturity level here is
it's got to be
very low.
your bowl.
It's got to be your
mine.
bowl.
But some takeaways. It felt like it honestly, as he told us, he's just going to tell the story, right? He's a character. It's a character in the story, and it's where we're at now, where it was, and he doesn't predict the future, but he gives you some ideas of where. By looking at the past, like studying history, right? If you look at the past, you can predict part of the future, right? So, a couple quick takeaways: superpowers, communicating, observing, and humor. So,
Nailed
nothing,
it.
yeah, nothing crazy. But the way he walked it through was like he was walking through my life, like he'd been observing me for 48 years, right? This is this. This is this.
That's
You
so
are your
cool.
father. Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that you are very good at observing things and you've been a professional scout for 22 years,
Yeah.
but also I just know you are so observant with everything. Like we could go out to eat and you like weeks later, you'll know exactly what the waitress was wearing to like, you are such an observant person. And of course the humor.
And actually that was the one thing Tom and I talked about, cause he talked about doing his comedy and stuff. And he's a funny guy. It's dry and it's extremely intelligent, right? So we shared a lot in that regards. But This one might come as a surprise, but I am extremely hypercritical of people. I think most
Is
people.
that how he said it?
Oh yeah.
Did you just say take all my money right now?
exactly.
Like, Tom, thank you.
There you go. You mean, and his words, I believe, you think most people are idiots.
Is that what he said?
He goes, you probably don't like Kyler Murray, do you? He like, what does that mean? He's like, you're probably extremely critical of everything he does. I was like, yeah, he's way overpaid. I'm never going to put my money in a 5'8" little quarterback. Absolutely not. And I don't even watch football.
But that is a
Wow.
great observation of you. Yes.
Yes, hypercritical.
Hypercritical.
Judging, judgmental,
Looking, watching, judging,
looking,
look at
the baby, looking, exactly. Which again, I do for a living, right?
Yeah,
That's why I break everything down and stuff.
Right.
What is the
yeah.
like? Those are some micro,
Yeah.
not micro habits, as Tim would
No.
say. But those are
Micro habits.
like
Yeah.
on the macro for the time.
Yeah.
How long were you there?
A little over an hour.
And
Yep.
when you interviewed him, or when we had the discussion on the podcast,
Yeah.
you played the role of skeptic.
Yeah.
Leaving there, are you or are you not a skeptic? Still.
No, I'm in. And I think I said it that day. Like, he was so passionate about it. It was so matter of fact. 5 years ago, I'm not. So I think everything, like in life,
Yeah.
is all about timing, right? 10 years ago, no. I wouldn't have done it, you know. But now, yeah, I walked in there very open to it, right? And exciting news. I'm in a cocoon. I'm ready to spread my wings.
that what he said?
I'm ready to be a butterfly.
Whoa.
And what happens now?
I don't know. That's the exciting part.
Let's get you out of that.
I know, right? What does that mean?
Yeah.
He said he very, very visually saw me in a past, like 1930s newsroom, news reporter, sports reporter.
Yeah,
Totally.
say.
Yeah. I was thinking,
100% see that.
what was the Hank Azaria, the Brockmeyer? I was
Yeah.
thinking
Oh my
Brockmeyer.
God, that's great.
That's funny, right? Yeah. So, but yeah, the takeaway is, I am my father. Yeah, I knew that. But you fall into safety like you did what Dad did, right?
Yep.
I did what Dad did. Your path was a little different because you're a warrior, Mr.
Air
Thor.
quotes, air quotes for those of you on Spotify.
I forgot my eye
Your
paint.
war paint.
Oh
today.
yeah, I could learn a lot from Nick. He actually literally said that.
Yeah,
I could learn,
bitch.
right? And I've always known that.
Listen.
Say what you say, and it just comes out.
Wait, he said that?
He literally said you can learn a lot from Nick. I know he overshadows you on the podcast.
He said,
Oh yeah,
my
and
God.
then you redirect to Tim because it's his podcast. No problem. I know my role. Look at that.
Wow.
How about that? Tommy came out
Dude, I didn't have to pay for this. and now I'm
swinging,
just
and you're getting
learning.
the full Monty. But
That's
no, it was
amazing.
very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, man, I don't know what to. Yes, do it. But I think the biggest thing, like he said, like people are going to be skeptical. They're going to come in if he gets referrals and guys come in, especially men coming in to meet with him. Yeah, I mean he's got people that run from him, right? But
right.
I think you go in with an open mind and just take it all in.
I think we should probably say for anyone listening to this, you have to subscribe if you're on YouTube and then follow if you're on Spotify and Apple. Go back because what we're talking about is Tom McMullen.
Yeah.
What was it, 3 episodes ago? Maybe more than that now.
Probably 5 or
But
6.
his name's in the caption of the podcast. It was probably an hour 20 or something
Yeah.
like that. One of the more interesting people and so I was very excited for you to go. I think I might.
I think you should.
I don't know if my dad's still listening to the podcast or not, but I might buy it for him for Christmas.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. No, and I'm going to do the same for my mom. I want to send her in. I just think it was very interesting. Again, but you got to go in with an open mind. It's I played the skeptic, but whatever. It was.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody does going
Yeah.
in the first time. I know I did, but
Yeah.
once you understand what he said, and it's not smoke and mirrors and witchcraft,
Yeah.
it's and as soon as he starts talking and things start
Yeah.
resonating with you, like, wait, nobody really knows that about me,
Yeah.
and you just said it, in
Right.
5 minutes.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right. And then, I was skeptic because that's my nature to be judgmental, right? Like I'm going to be today. we're going to break down some other stuff today.
Yeah, we got a great guest coming on today. It's definitely going to be a little bit in Nick's wheelhouse with the food and a little bit with me in the restaurants. And so we have a wonderful guest who talk about people do that. Being an astrological consultant. People do that. And people are also food bloggers influencers, and
Who have hundreds of thousands of followers
hundreds
on
of
social
thousands
media.
of followers.
Wow.
That's what I want to know. How do you do that?
Let's ask her.
All right.
I'm gonna go
All
get
right.
her.
All right, let's go.
Okay, guys, today we are honored to have one of the most prominent women in the food scene in all of Arizona, Melissa Anaya. Her story exemplifies people do that. Melissa started her journey as a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, raising her 2 kids. After a divorce, she got back into the work scene as a bartender and started her grind. Bartending turned into doing events, and events turned into being a food blogger, food influencer, and later starting her own agency, Eat Drink Creative. In 2023, Melissa won the prestigious Phoenix Best Food Blogger Award. Eat Drink Creative now serves over 30 restaurants and bars in the Valley and is making a huge splash in the restaurant industry. I'm pleased to introduce the one and only Melissa Anaya. What's up, Melissa?
Wow, that is like the best intro, I think.
You might want to screen record that when we produce this.
I feel like I'm at an award ceremony.
You kind of are. You've made it.
I mean, it did give me goosebumps when I actually did write the words, one of the most prominent women in the food scene. But that is so true. It's so accurate of where you're at in this world, and you've made it all on your own, which is
Thank you.
amazing.
Well, I've been following your TikTok and Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
And you got me to want to go eat vegan Mexican tacos somehow with the video.
Veganos, tacos veganos.
Veganos, yeah.
Have you been?
No, I haven't
Okay,
been. I
so
did see
we
the
gotta
same
go.
video.
We gotta
Yeah,
go.
Let's do it.
But when I'm like, oh, vegan taco, like here's just enough. You know, if you're looking for vegan, and I'm like, whatever, like it's gonna be.
Right, yeah.
And then
You did it.
and then 20 seconds in, I'm like, oh my god,
yeah.
oh my god,
They're the best.
Like, it looks so.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to my son Cody, who I think has been vegan like 7 years now, I've started to vegan doesn't mean gross. Like in my mind, vegan used to mean
Yeah.
like what are they going to put in there? But it's just doesn't have any animal product, and there's a lot of really good
Other
foods you can
flavors,
make
yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Melissa, I want to start by if you could
Yeah.
just kind of your rise to what you're doing right now. I mean, to me, that's a big part of the story. If you could just start by telling us your story and
Yeah.
how you made it to where you are today. On the People Do That
Yeah.
podcast. Who would have thought?
I eat lots of food. No. No, I've always worked in the industry. Even when I was younger, it was kind of the only thing I did. My first job was I call it the OG. It's the Olive Garden. The insiders know it's called the OG.
That's already
so good.
classic right there.
is
That's
good.
classic.
There's going to be a lot of food puns today, you guys. So just be
Good. Let's
prepared.
do it. I need to learn some shit.
Started that and then, had kids and, got married and was a stay-at-home mom for many, many years. And I loved it. Very grateful that I was able to do that with my 2 kiddos, Madden and Blake.
Were you cooking a bunch when you were staying home?
Not in the beginning. So even how I grew up, I love my mom. She's not a good cook.
Wait, is your mom Mexican?
She is.
What?
Whoa.
What's her maiden name?
Esther Gomez.
Is that an
Dude, come
on. What is that?
Wait a second. Have you ever met someone whose name ends in EZ that is not a good cook?
No.
No.
What happened, Esther?
I guess me,
I
but
don't know. She never was, but we went out to eat a lot. We went to restaurants. That was kind of our thing. And then when I met my husband, he had worked for Streets of New York. And he was, I think we went out I don't think there wasn't a time we didn't go out to eat. So I kind of got just like integrated with like going out to eat. And then, so, moving forward now, 2012, 2013, I get my divorce and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And so I was like, well, I worked at Whole Foods for a little bit in the end. And I met a guy named James Kraft who owns Craft 64. And he was there back in the day. If he used to hang out at Whole Foods, it was a full on like bar brewery. Like they would stand on the bar in Whole Foods and chant on a Friday and Saturday night, 100 people. People were getting drunk, passing out.
I've been going at the wrong times.
Right? The Tuesday morning.
Wait, like
crew
on
was a
Ray
lot
Road?
different.
Yes.
On Ray Road?
I
And
gotta send you this picture. You won't believe it till you see it. It was wild. It was the spot. So like full on crazy Fridays and Saturdays.
Wait, so were you working there at the time?
So I was working, but I wanted to bartend with him. And one day I asked him, said, hey, I have some bartending experience, and I knew I was getting a divorce. And he's like, do you know anything about craft beer? And I was like, no. He's like, I can't help you. And I was like, okay.
Dang. Okay.
So his main guy left to go open a new Whole Foods, and he needed some help. And he was like, hey, I'd love to bring you on board. And I said, let's do it. We rocked it out. He had me in every night. He's like, our energy was like on fire. And he whispered in my ear and he goes, I'm opening up a place called The Perch in Chandler.
This is all making sense now. Yes.
So he goes, do you want to come bartend? And I said, oh God, I'm so old. At the time I was only like 31.
Oh my God.
Right? We always think we're old. So, and he goes, well, I'll make you a bar manager. And I had no experience. So I was like, let's do it. So then they ended up needing help with marketing. And I started learning Google and I liked it. And then you just post it on Facebook. But I started learning Facebook and I started really, really liking it. Slowly but surely, I kind of realized there was more to Facebook than just posting. And then I met my ex at the time, and he had a background in sports and mixed martial arts and media. Like a year later, we started a business and kind of just pulled all of our strongest suits together. And we did everything. We did the first Chandler Film Festival, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we did
I've been to
yoga events at the original Modern Margarita, the one that burnt down. Yeah, we did.
Burned down.
Yeah.
In air quotes.
So we did that one. We did events with the Village on the top of the Perch. We did, you name it, we did it. So then like a year and a half, 2 years in, I hired a expert from Craigslist to teach me what the back end of Meta was actually all about. Then it was Facebook. And I trained with this girl for like 30 days. She taught me ads. And I was like hooked. And I was like, holy crap. I was like, this Facebook is not for posting. It's for marketers.
I haven't figured that out. The back end of those social media, just like, it drives me crazy, especially with the podcast. We're trying to get the word out for the podcast. And anytime I post anything about podcast or post a link or whatever, I obviously don't understand the algorithm because it just shuts me down.
Right, because you get 7 likes. But if you say, Cody got an A in this class, you get 430.
Yeah. Because it doesn't like podcasts, but it likes Cody's grades.
Right.
And I don't understand that.
Yeah.
That's because anytime there's a birthday, a birth, an engagement, you get those for free. They're giving because they're authentic. They're giving those to you.
So should we say a new episode is being birthed?
Yeah. Hey guys, Tim went into labor.
Yes.
And had Melissa on the podcast.
I am.
Trick the algorithm, and then put my head in a little carrot.
There you go.
Guys, it's coming up. I am at 10 centimeters or whatever it is.
Dilated.
I'm dilated.
Tim is crowning. Here comes
100%
Melissa.
Effaced, and Melissa. Okay, we took it too far.
I'm dying.
So, all right, we'll work on tricking the algorithm another time. But yeah, so that's what got you into it. You were just fascinated by that.
Were you still working at the Perch at the time? Or were you like,
No.
peace out, dude, thanks?
No, I stayed there about another year and a half and pieced out, and we just did it. And we had a lot of MMA clients at the time. Rage in the Cage. We did a lot of sports stuff, and then started doing social media for MMA clubs and sports. And I realized I wasn't passionate about sports at all. I would go to these amazing UFC fights, minus the big ones like Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey, but I'd be bored. It did not interest me.
Right.
And I knew I wasn't passionate about it. And at the time, we got our very first restaurant client because we lived next door to it, was Los Taquitos. And we got them off of a whim, off of going in and just pitching them. And it worked. And then slowly but surely, got maybe 2 or 3 more after that. And then from there, I kind of just did my own thing, and I ran with food. And
We had an episode that we titled earlier, Follow Your Passion. And it's very cool that that's exactly what you've done in the whole process.
Yes.
You found out that you were passionate about the ads and social media, and then you got into something that it was part of it, but you weren't as passionate about, but then you found out food is something that I really do enjoy, and then you followed that.
I loved it.
What do you say to the owner when you walk in and go, hey, we're doing this thing?
I think that they were opening and they knew that they needed to, just like I always get it. We know we need to do social media and we need to start somewhere. That's usually the golden statement that we always get. Like, we got to start it, right? We did. And this is actually quite funny. Like, we won't even work with clients if they do not run ads. They are the only client that had since day one. We just got them to run ads about 6 months ago.
Really?
Barely dipped their toes in it. Yeah. And, you know, we've kind of always given them that they kind of get to do what they want.
Right. Yeah. They're the OGs.
Yeah, because they were not Olive Garden.
Not the Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, and then the pandemic happened. And that's kind of when we blew up a little bit,
How?
I would say. TikTok and Reels came into the mix. So, you know, I had like 5 clients. And I was like, I'm an expert. Like, I'm going to go sell this service to everyone and let them know. And so prior to growing Eat, Drink, AZ, I started going to restaurants. And I know that I can get an owner or a GM at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So those are the days I go in.
Smart.
And they would be like, here's our card. Get in line with Cisco, Shamrock, everyone else who's trying to pitch us. Right. That's what I got. And so I was into funnel marketing too. I started getting into like click funnels, if you don't know anything about that.
Nope.
So started getting into that. So what it is it's like a funnel, it's like a doorway into something else. So I created Eat, Drink, AZ as my funnel for the agency. My goal was always to own like a large size marketing agency, but I didn't realize that Eat, Drink, AZ would be a business in itself along this journey happened that way. And that's like the quick version.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
But you're so dialed in. I mean, we talked about the algorithm, but you kind of had your own algorithm of like how to get the owner, how to get the GM. Like, that's so smart. You know, they haven't gone to the bank yet after the lunch hour or whatever, but like finding out how to get to them, what they want to hear, I mean, when we started with Ty all those years ago, it was exactly it. Like, we know we're supposed to be doing social media, but we don't know how or what to do. And then it's somebody like you to save the day.
Yeah.
That's
impressive. So then when you started doing TikTok, was it like, all right, I'm going to go to this place, we're going to film some cool content, and I'm going to order some food, and then we're going to kind of funnel that into what falls out of the back end, which is potential relationship with that restaurant or whatever it is, or like, how does that actually work? Because like I said, I've been watching you on TikTok since you started, and it was always like, okay, where is she? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
So I spent when it first launched in 2020, it was already growing Eat, Drink, AZ prior to that, but there was that video format was not there yet. So it was regular like YouTube dimensions, but I knew that I came into the game late. There were other large foodies, so I just kind of looked at what they were doing. None of them were talking on camera. None of them knew how to run ads. So I grew my account very fast I knew videos still trumped photos then. So I ran videos, or I posted videos. I told restaurants I was an expert in reviewing. My very first review I ever did was at Oban. The poor chef was like ready to kick me out because I was like, I'm going to come in and do this review for you. I was so nervous. I think I was there like 6 hours, and he was like, are you guys almost done? Like, you got to go.
Yeah.
Like, he would come over and he'd start to watch, and I just start to sweat. And I couldn't even think a customer would come by, and I was like a dog, like freaked out, or just like staring like at this person, like every little like movement that happened, like, don't look at me, sweating, makeup dripping off of me, right? Fake it before you make it.
Yeah,
so I would tell them I was learning how to create my own videos, then. So then once kind of Reels and TikTok took off during the pandemic, I started hitting that really hard with Chelsea. Let Them Eat This. She has the largest now food TikTok and Instagram in the Valley, and she's amazing. She's one of our top content creators to this day, and she actually is the one that was like right away. She's super trendy. She's like, you need to get on Reels and you need to get on TikTok like fast. So we started I think we spent 2 years just hitting the market hard, spending our own money. We did 30 days up north. We noticed no one was going up north. We literally disappeared and hit Prescott, Flag, Sedona, and stayed and like traded out everything for 30 days. Page. We noticed no one was giving Tucson love.
Right.
So we were like, wait, we're not just like eat, drink, downtown Phoenix.
Right, yeah.
We're like eat, drink, AZ. Like we got to cover all the cities. So we were one of the 2 first foodies to ever hit the Tucson scene. Cause I was like, if I'm ever going to make it in these other markets, I got to start also bringing people from everywhere else around. And then, you know, I told myself that I'll never pitch what I'm trying to do until I got to a certain point in numbers in for my following. And once I hit like 50K, I was like, now we start telling people a little bit. Because I didn't want people to not trust me and think that was all what it was all about.
Right.
It was, but it wasn't. Because I didn't know that I was building Eat, Drink, AZ.
So how many followers are you at now on Eat Drink?
So
180,000 on TikTok.
180,000 on TikTok.
And one.
And one. And one now,
I
thanks
think
to
it's
Brian.
around 180,000, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or
and then
maybe
141 on Instagram. And then like 12,000 on Facebook. That still counts.
So you wanted to get to 50. Like, I mean, how did you get to 50,000 at the time? Was it just post, review,
Ads
picture,
or
Ads.
You ran
It
ads
was a
too?
lot harder than once Reels and TikTok came into the mix. Like the amount of time it took me to get to 50K, and then the amount of time it took me to get to like 141 is like nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once
really?
you get that momentum going, and
Reels and TikTok are. I mean,
Are you
now,
a Reels guy? Do you use Reels?
I port my TikTok videos over to Reels, so it has the TikTok water stamp on it. So I'm sure it's getting suppressed by the algorithm.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah,
so many words just came out of your mouth that I don't know.
Reels.
Well, here's the thing: is like
Algorithm.
I'm trying to. How do I not make this about me?
It's okay. We got time.
Drink.
So I have 26,000. I started TikTok
That's great.
nine months ago.
Yeah.
On the back of being on Guys Grocery Games all of
Yeah.
these times and just doing stupid shit basically
That's
that my
amazing.
daughter's filming.
Yeah.
But I would like for it to be not a retirement plan, but something to do when I'm done working in corporate America, maybe 7 to 10 years from now. So
Yeah.
if I figure if I could build that base up now, maybe someone would want me to come talk to their class or cook them a meal or whatever it is. Getting the 9 months to 26, it was not that hard. Like it's like not that hard. But now that it's around 26, the last 2 months it's like 26. 26 like, and I'm like, all right, I got to do something different. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are business owners right now, whether it's a restaurant or someone that's looking to do home cooking. Like, what are the things that small business owner, someone looking to get into doing more social media, what do you do once you get to that? Some people are now paying attention. How do I go to the next level?
So, I always have a tough time with this because of what Meta is and what TikTok's becoming. They really are advertising platforms. So they give you, right? You grew really fast and now you're slowing down. If you've noticed, they've done that all the time. When we first got Facebook, we used to get a lot of comments, then they take it away. And then they gave you Instagram and then regular Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Now what we know, they take it away. Then they gave you Reels and now they're taking it away because their ultimate goal is to get you to advertise. The only way to really ever beat that is to be extremely well in your own niche, creating 1 to 2 videos a day. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
lot of content.
That's what I've been told. So a friend that I was on Guys Grocery Games with, her name is Happy Bellies by Jenny, and she's got like 3.5 million followers on TikTok. And it literally started with her daughter going, "Mom, I think people would like your birria taco recipe. You should film it," during the quarantine.
Yeah.
3 years later, she has her own pots and pans line that launched at JCPenney last week. So your life can change that quickly if you do this shit the right way. But the number one thing she told me, by the way, I filmed what was on last week that you watched on Guys Grocery Games. She was on that episode. That's when I met her. I met her 9 months ago.
Wow.
She was the one that told me, "You're not on TikTok. What are you doing?"
Right.
And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I got home and I handed my daughter my phone and I go, get me on TikTok.
Right.
And so then she did. That was a little bit over 9 months ago. But her number one thing, to your point, was if you don't post every day at 4 o'clock, you'll never be anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll never be anything.
And I was
in
like,
life.
I was like,
Don't
oh.
even try to
I was
live
like,
life.
oh. Like,
Disclaimer, kids.
Yeah, you want to talk about like, you'll never be anything if you want to do this and you don't do that. Then you'll never be anything.
I remember.
She did say it after about 3 glasses of wine, so I'm like, I'm never gonna be anything.
I do remember being
Why
at your
am I
house.
here?
Like you were just cooking dinner for us on a Friday night. I
Yeah.
always appreciate when you invite us for that. And like you stop and you're videoing. You become Nick, the South Chicago chef.
Yeah.
And you're just videoing because you need that content. And I remember watching your daughter and your wife just sit on the couch rolling their eyes.
Yeah, it's like, oh god.
Here he goes again. Like,
And I'm doing it myself. I'm going to
teenager
show you
dad.
how to cut a steak. Like,
Exactly. But that's what I wanted to ask you, Melissa. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that want to be like influencers or on social media, and they think the job is just going to eat at places, taking pictures, and then you're out.
Yeah.
And
It's not?
yeah,
Come on.
Wait, were you going to
I
start
mean, you
that?
can.
Come on.
You're coming out
They're
of
only
your
there for
cocoon.
20 seconds. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Thank you, Brian. Yes,
Yes.
that's exactly what
I'll be the
I was
layperson.
going-
Sure.
Yes.
I'll be that guy. Wait.
What is it really like?
What does it take, Tim?
Tell me about
Tell
that,
me
Brian.
more.
We'll ask Melissa.
Yes, that's Melissa.
So, anyone can. It's really consistency. If you look at my first TikTok video, we actually were in Tucson. I think I recorded the phone, and it's practically in my nose. And I'm walking around this restaurant, right? Just like, we're here in Tucson. And I said that we blew up in Tucson because I said no one had ever done TikToks or Reels in Tucson. I said, Tucson is a foodie capital. And people just came for like, what do you mean?
Good.
What?
Heck
Like,
yeah.
you know,
Good.
the things they say about Tucson but it made the video crank and go viral. But like, what you said, like you just got on, people want authenticity. Like beautiful, perfected things don't work anymore. And the younger generations that are going to be, you have 14 locations
Right.
and you're never going away. Those younger generations want you to be as real as possible. Like your future social media may be some 21-year-old, a bunch of kids, talking on cameras doing like live videos. Like
No, that's a
like
great
the
point,
days
yeah.
of editorial style, content is great for, magazines and your billboards and your, different things that you do. But most people, the reason why I love social media so much is because years ago, and you know this because you've been around for so long, in order to have a successful business, you had to have it on a corner of a road to have good, right traffic. Your marketing budget was probably nothing like it is today. You had billboards, you had magazine ads, you had mailers probably going out, right? You had to have a large marketing budget, right, to even be seen. Also, the media controlled what was being seen,
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's our voice and what we want to portray on social media.
Can't
so
just
interesting.
sponsor the Little League team and put it on
that
the
was
back,
our ad
right?
campaign
Right?
back in 1986.
No, I remember the mailers. That guy, he was
Gary
always
Milslegel with
yeah,
Penny Saver.
yeah, penny saver.
You could
like-
get $1 off a
Are we
combo
getting
or
50% off Chimmy's or
Oh,
what?
we weren't giving percent. We were giving 50 cents.
cents, 50 cents,
50
Yeah.
cents off.
I remember.
But that was our marketing campaign where we
Yeah.
would do $2 off Fiesta platters.
And why was it successful? Because it was local, it was authentic, it was genuine, right?
and there was no
Yeah.
social media.
And
then.
there was no
Right.
social
No.
media, right? So for the guy that is not really into all this food stuff, right? And I can go through it. I know him. I know he's genuine. I know him. I know he's genuine. Like you can sift through the douchebags real quick,
Yeah.
right?
That's
But
so
this
true.
guy, I'm like, come on, man,
Yeah.
right? I mean, these guys are like,
Sifting through
oh,
douchebags.
don't like you, don't like you, not attractive
Yeah.
enough, don't like you, don't like
Damn. Yeah.
He's being honest.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't even have
I
TikTok.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are just my friends. I mean,
Yeah.
just
That's actually a good question. He just
More
said.
observations from Brian
more
Reid.
about-
He said, "I don't have TikTok."
Yeah.
Do you ever run into restaurants and or people that you're working with that are like, the Chinese are behind TikTok. I'm never gonna do that. Are you running into that at all?
We have not, and it's fine because we're mainly Meta anyway. So I'd be like, you don't even have to have TikTok, so you're good.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, because Meta's not giving anything to anyone.
We're not being. It's only those two platforms that I'm really
sure
watching.
they're not listening.
Let's talk about Nikes. Then you'll get a Nike ad.
I'm working on about 40 hours of a social media break right now, which is very hard.
Good for you.
I've taken these breaks in the past, but because I get sucked into my phone. Like I'm as addicted as anybody else, and I'm not anti-social media, but I'm anti my own willpower. Like, what is wrong with me? Why do I feel like I need to pick it up every couple seconds? In your industry, you can't ever do that. Like, are you always on your phone? Like, what is that like for people around you?
What does your portable charger look like?
It's dead. My phone is
That's
dead.
her backpack.
Always dead.
Really, what we want to know is how many ohms is your portable charger?
How do you navigate that?
My phone is always off. I have no notifications on. So I check it probably on my own about, I would say, once every hour to 2 hours. And mainly it's always work related. But it's hard because when you're managing accounts, you have all those other restaurants. It's a flaw in the system. So I have my personal, and I have 31 other restaurant notifications flying through my normal personal notifications. So I'll see them come in. So I missed stuff. People were like, I sent you a message on Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah, good luck. So
I believe you.
100 other people.
right.
I believe you. Yes, you did.
So, I do a really good job of disconnecting. And I know one day in the future, I'm probably going to go off the grid on social media for sure. Because, for me, it is a business. I've created my Facebook that way. I've created my Instagram. I have a very private Instagram that doesn't even have a face on it that I keep for friends and family, and because I've scripted my business to only have business posts on it. So I don't really feel obligated to be on it, I would say, as much.
Okay.
And my personal one, I'm, on that maybe once every week and a half or so.
Right.
I'll do a random post, unfiltered, the worst, say friends, we went dinner, wine.
The exact opposite of what you're telling people that they should
great
do.
caption.
It's just trash.
Oh, that's interesting because I know a lot of people deal with that. I know, my daughter, she'll take breaks from time because it sucks you in, and before you know it, you're watching cats dancing, and it's been like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, what have I done?
That's been my stance on TikTok. And it's not a political thing. I can't add another one. I mean, I watch.
Yeah.
I use Twitter for my business a lot,
love
just
Twitter.
watching.
Right.
And so, you can go down the hole, and
It's called X.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry. I'm still working on it,
I
Elon.
know, I know.
Still working
And that's
on
the
that
exact
one.
reason I haven't got on TikTok. Like I have enough of them, and I'm already sucked in. I don't need another one.
You do view the ones that I send you, though. Do they play in a browser and not in the app?
Yeah, I have to go to the browser. I feel like I'm 90 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every time he's like, "Oh my God, that's great." I'm like, "Yeah, if you're just on, I can just port this over to you." But
Yeah.
See,
no,
but I
just
do
keep
have-
sending me I just use you as a filter to send me the good shit.
I'm your
from
proxy.
TikTok. Yeah, you're my proxy.
I've been your proxy for several
I
things.
let China get your information, and then you just send me the
good.
video. Yeah.
So, but that's always the joke that I make, though. Like when I put it out on Facebook, hey, check out this TikTok that I made. I think it's funny. Tell me if you think it's funny. I have the real blue collar Chicago people where I'm from. I ain't on that shit. They're fucking stealing it, And that you comment that every time, right? Like I read it, I read it, and so then I finally figured out what's my 5-minute comedy sketch around this? I'll make it into 30 seconds. My 30-second comedy sketch is good. I want them to be following me. That way the people that are important doing important shit aren't being followed.
Right.
Spend your time. I'll teach you how to fucking cut a skirt steak. You're wasting your time following me. I don't do anything. I don't care. Okay, have it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm on Amazon. I'm on Meta. I'm on all of these different things.
Right.
I got 87 apps on my phone. it's going to be that one that takes me down.
Well, it's interesting.
Never.
Like we were talking about Nike. Like if you talk about something, your phone, and my wife and I are like, oh my God, that's so freaky. And my kids are like, I think it's good. Like then I get ads for things that I'm interested in and not like a recliner or bunk beds or whatever. They're getting ads. So I'm like, well, that's a different way to think about it.
Well, are they listening?
No. Just
I
no.
I don't know.
Yes.
There's some weird stuff that makes no sense with my background that comes through our news feed where I've tested it out and
They're
the-
absolutely listening.
Well, like
Of
right now, they're
course.
dead. Right, no one's got their phone on. Right, I don't.
TV's
I don't
on.
understand. My sons, both of my kids, they're not like trying to be influencers or anything, but they're on all of the different social media apps, Snapchat or whatever. When my son says, "Dad, this one really got me," he goes, "I was thinking about this
Yes.
in my room alone. I didn't say anything to you. I didn't say anything to Mom. I didn't say anything to Sam. And I came downstairs, I got water, and I opened up Instagram, and there was an ad for that thing."
That's
I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that? What? Okay, you know 10 times more than we know
I
combined.
am on conspiracy talk.
What is that? What is it?
Let's go.
I don't know. They're never gonna. I've actually done some searching on this and Googling because there was a time that my boyfriend and I, like, he said something, got an ad. And like we said something, I go, "You didn't search? You didn't?" And he's like, "No, I never." So we tested this out for like a week and we kept saying words to each other in like passing, made sure we like had never searched it. And so we had said, I really want to go to the Olive Garden. And then here comes an OG ad, right? Running through. And so then I started kind of like diving in and, reading conspiracies and going into it. I don't bet anything against them that there wouldn't be. They're an empire. They're one of the largest companies in the world.
Yeah. What does the future look like? What, like, for your not only for your business, but just for social media and marketing and advertising?
Yeah.
What do you see 3, 5, 10 years down the road? Is it throw the goggles on and get in your pod and think about it and the tacos
Yes.
will show up?
Well, augmented reality for sure. I think that that's the way the future is going. I think he's creating the metaverse. So I don't even want to get too geeky because I'll get real geeky. The metaverse is actually considered, the internet as you see it today is considered flat internet. So the metaverse is going to be where we actually we could have this podcast and I'll just plug in. You can create your own studio. You can have meetings. Everyone can be at home. You'll be able to shop, take a look at the item, see what it's all about. Now you can't eat it that we know of yet. Eat it, taste it, smell it yet.
like Wonka vision.
But right, you go to a restaurant. You want to have you want to book out a restaurant. Well, now you can plug in and see if it's going to fit your party. Or maybe you're picking
Is it always going
tables.
to be here? Like, are you always going to have?
I don't think so. I think you'll think about the first phone. I think the glasses are hilarious now. It reminds me of the first ginormous phone. It's just the beginning. Though who knows what it'll be.
I did see, I went to a speaker, he talked about this, and the evolution, like the pictures of the caveman, down, and then gradually he stands up.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing, but it was a human, low, looking at their phone.
Right.
Because that's where we're at now. The next phase is wearables, on your wrist or headband or goggles or whatever. But the man is actually, or the person standing back up, because then the last phase is like something implanted, like in the bottom of your brain. So you don't have to wear anything. You don't have to, which freaks the hell out of me. I don't want to be around for that. I'm good piecing out sometime before we get to that
I don't think
phase.
you get to unless you want to die like in the next 10 years.
It's happening that soon.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
God. Let's go back to food.
Go outside and play. Get off my lawn.
audience is
you can
not
play
ready.
on my lawn. Boo.
I know.
But isn't it? But it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's almost a little ironic to me that just go to the Gilbert Farmers Market, right? And it's just like, oh, this is the beef from this farm, and I tenderly cut these radishes out of the thing, right? And then and you're just like, it's just so peaceful and organic, and you feel so like at one with it. And then you go home and just throw on your Oculus and you're like playing nude golf. Like, what is this?
Golf?
Yeah, like I don't know what's in the metaverse at this point. Yeah, it's
he
like
has the app for that.
nude mini golf.
That's funny.
Yeah, like it's
That's not a bad day.
Like, it's like everything is very
initial
like
Saturday.
hippie granola-y on one side.
But then
Then it's just like there's this weird opaque line that sits in the middle, and then over here is like so much technology and stuff polluting you.
Yes.
Absolutely polluting your brain.
Yeah.
But this over here is like we're going to the farm to pick the strawberries in California as the event for today.
Right.
Like I did that, and it was like so peaceful. You're in the middle of nowhere, and an hour later we're in the hotel. And it's like
Nude golf?
Yeah, what nude golfing? Like, yeah, nude golfing.
getting back to restaurants, which hopefully is a
Please.
little bit more positive future for us. I still don't even know how to work my Gmail, let alone anything in the metaverse. Melissa, what would you say? What's the current state of the restaurant scene in Arizona? How have we evolved over
Oh, here we go.
the
He
last
wants free
year?
research.
right?
Yeah. No, I'm curious.
The pitch, now the art.
I was fascinated with this. With like when we started with Ty years ago, I felt like the Phoenix food scene was not very good. It was a lot of the OG. It was a lot of Applebee's.
Give me
it was
a
lot
year.
of
Give me a
Chili's.
year there.
I'm thinking like 2000.
2000.
There wasn't a lot going
Yeah.
on. There weren't mom and pops. It was chains and I love the direction it's going. And I mean, my personal opinion is the food scene has really elevated. I want to see if you've seen that. And then as opposed to like other cities, big cities around the country, how is Phoenix general area, the Valley, doing as a food scene compared to other cities across the country?
We are getting there. And I really think over the last 5 years, it's really advanced. How do you know if you're in a great city with great food? There's always an Asian district, right? We're barely starting to kind of build ours, right? You have Mekong Plaza, Mesa, down in Dobson area.
H Mart.
Yeah, H Mart.
Nick loves it.
We're starting to really get, some really good, Asian restaurants, Korean fried chicken, places we've never really seen before.
Right.
Then you have, restaurants that are also putting us, on the food map where people are actually traveling here and we're getting recognized for those. I just had this conversation with, one of our clients, how, we don't even have a Michelin star chef yet in Arizona. And
You want to explain? I'll be the one. You want to explain with the Michelin star?
It's a tire.
It's a tire.
Michelin tire. Yeah.
It actually is that
That's
company.
the company. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
It was created. The Michelin actually
Okay.
created it.
Okay.
So that, do you know why they created the Michelin? Okay.
I don't.
So Michelin wanted people. They created a guide years ago, and they made the restaurants very far, so people would drive to them. So they would tear up their tires,
Get the
so they could get new tires
Jesus.
faster.
See, that's great marketing.
Yes.
We don't need goggles
Yeah.
for that.
It's
That's
kind
brilliant.
of. It reminds me of the Zagat review from Saturday Night Live with Adam Sandler and Farley. Look at this one, Ted. Holy cannoli! It was literally a Michelin guide.
Yeah.
The
There's-
French
there's
laundry.
Michelin's 1 star, 2 star, 3 star.
Yep,
Or how does it work?
1, 2, and 3. We don't have that yet. And I was talking to a couple of chefs, and they had said that because all of our food, we don't have any legit food critics. We don't have them here in the Valley yet. So we had one, I guess, years ago, and they're not here anymore, and I'm not sure why. But those types of people bring awareness to Arizona. We, our awards for restaurants, and bars, like Century Grand was the very first bar to be rated.
saw that,
You
yeah.
saw that, yeah. So we're starting to get put on the map with these restaurants and things like that. I think in the next 5 years, it's gonna only advance even more.
So the chicken or the egg? So that you're saying the critic comes before the chef? Well, that's what
Kinda,
what you said,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
if the
but-
chefs aren't willing to come here because the critics aren't
But-
here,
Yeah.
that's
We
that
only have
weird?
a handful of those types of restaurants here.
Yeah.
Well, I
them
don't.
to
Yeah, I don't think it's like someone's waking up in the morning going, "Critic move there yet? Fuck it,
No,
I'm
no,
out."
no.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's that, but
Yeah.
we've had a couple Beard finalists. We've had
Oh, yes.
yeah, we've so
Absolutely.
James Beard Award.
Tons.
Yeah,
Tons.
we've had so that's Michelin is for the restaurant.
What's James do? I'm sorry.
James is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Again,
that's
outside
The
the world.
James Beard Award is for the chef.
right. It's for the
Okay.
chef.
Okay.
We've had plenty of those and finalists. Like
Chris
even being a
Bianco.
finalist is
Yeah.
is
I've
a
heard
big
that
thing.
name.
But the one that I never understood, and we actually went there. We were told that there's only one 5-star restaurant in the whole Kai.
Yeah, Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say
Yeah.
it?
Kai.
Kai.
Yeah. I almost said
Tim and
Kai.
I went there.
Yeah.
What is a 5-star versus a Michelin?
I think the 5-star is a diamond rating.
Yeah, it's a
isn't
diamond
It? I
rating.
don't know.
By a different company or something.
yeah, completely different.
But it was like when I looked that up, I'm like, there's no way because
Yeah.
I thought like the Phoenician and all of those places
No.
there would have,
No.
you know, that type of thing. And it was like, no,
Yeah.
it's actually right down the
Yeah.
block here in the middle of nowhere, right?
And to say, like, I mean, I've been to this, brag, I've been to a couple Michelin rated restaurants.
As have
and
I.
it's amazing, of course. But some of it gets a little bit over my head where I'm eating like sea foam and trying, oh my God, this is the best
shrimp
sea
foam.
foam I've ever had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and dirt and like,
No,
you know,
dirt was at Kai. Can we tell that? Have you been to Kai?
I have, yes.
You had dirt.
There.
You ordered dirt.
they're,
I'm sorry, you
they're
can dirt.
vegetables.
And by the way, it's the only 5-star in Phoenix. They gave us dirt.
Oh, it was the good dirt.
Yes. Yeah.
My
The
bad.
best you'll ever
Very
have.
organic dirt.
My
but
bad.
when we go there, their courses are the birth. It's the first course. It's literally called the birth.
Yes.
Oh my
And
God.
like the
Is
journey.
it what I'm thinking?
And then like the
canal.
journey, and then like the journey, and then
Okay.
like the end.
Okay.
yeah.
And it's like
my
when you
God.
first see this, you know my wife. My wife doesn't eat anything, and I'm like, oh man, is she gonna eat something off of the
Yeah.
birth? but they run it off of a playoff of Native American in their land, and it's like this salad and whatever the food is, they make it seem like it's.
But my point was like, and I want to get into some of Melissa's favorite restaurants, but like we have great restaurants here, and
We do.
and
Yeah.
from like Monarch, like there's restaurants to me that are
Cafe
more
Monarch.
approachable for like my taste. Like the Michelin experience is amazing, but one, you leave there with an empty pocket for sure. But the
And still hungry.
and still hungry
Because you ate dirt.
because you ate dirt and foam. but we have some great places.
Okay.
So I'd like to hear what some of your. Let's go with underrated.
Can we start? Can we narrow the search?
Yeah,
You
let's
said
do
you
it.
went up north, and I think of
Fat olives.
I think of Sedona, and I think of the flag, like
Yeah.
more earthy up there,
Yeah.
right? Especially Sedona, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think of going south to Mexico, going down to Tucson. I kind of have a picture in my head. You're basically something wrapped in bacon or something
Yes.
down there, right?
True.
Right?
Sonoran dogs.
Yes,
Sonoran
I mean, they're
dogs.
They put
tremendous.
mayo on them.
They're
Yeah.
really
Give
good.
me
They're really
that.
good. So and
El
then
Güero Canelo.
and then the scene,
There
but
you
the
go.
scene in the metro area, like downtown. You said you live in Scottsdale
So, yeah,
area,
on the
right?
border of Scottsdale,
Now we've
Tempe.
got Chandler and Gilbert and all these different pockets that
Yeah.
are growing. So let's kind of like maybe we narrow those
Do it
down.
by
and-
geography?
Yeah, let's do a
Yeah.
little.
All right, let's start
Yeah.
south. I want to. You
Yeah.
were the first foodie in Tucson.
Yeah.
I have so many
With your
favorites
phone right up in your
Tucson.
face.
Rollies. Oh, I love
Rollies.
Rollies.
How do you ROLL?
Yep, it's a
IE?
guy.
Why?
ROLLIES.
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 What kind of
All
food?
right.
It's Mexican, but he has a twist because he's, I don't remember which part of Mexico he's from, but his name is Mateo. He's freaking awesome. He's always doing, he's thinking outside of the box. He's always doing something different. Anytime I go to Tucson, I'm always stopping at Rollies.
Nice.
Hands
And
down.
Rolly sounds like
doing
he's like, I don't know, he hasn't got his Michelin thing yet,
Yeah.
but his star.
You can't even say Michelin.
He hasn't got his
Exactly.
Michelin yet.
Michelada.
Michelada.
Come on, Mateo.
Diamond
Step it
Star.
up, Mateo.
So if he were to bring something to Chandler, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
is it like
question.
would he have like success with that, or is it like because it's local, because he's in Tucson, adds to the experience of it?
I think because of who he is and his personality,
Okay.
he would have success.
Cool.
He's like a Joey Majori.
Yeah.
He you know
Who's that?
He's the Hash Kitchen,
the gold chains,
Gold Chain, the Mexicano or Mexicano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hash kitchen.
The
Okay.
Sicilian Butcher.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Very,
okay.
like,
Okay. Yeah.
flamboyant.
Okay. I've seen.
All right.
I've seen.
Do your
Some
thing.
point, yeah.
Do your thing, buddy.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, he does it.
All right. So that's Tucson.
Yeah, love
Una
Tucson.
Poca Cosa, you ever been there?
I have not.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah, there's
told me about
so
that
every
one.
time I go to Tucson, I have never been. It's like here in the valley, and they're so much smaller. I cannot get to all the restaurants.
Yeah.
And I've been there I usually go now a little bit less, but about 2 times a year. I would say I'm going down to Tucson.
So skip
what about
Phoenix and go
northern
north.
Arizona?
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
north.
Oh gosh.
Flagstaff, Sedona, Prescott. What about Prescott? I had a cabin in Prescott for many years. Rosa's Pizza was where we always ended up.
Okay, so when we go to Prescott, we've always oh God, what is his name? He's like the restaurateur, and now I'm not gonna remember his dang name. He owns Barley Hound.
Barley Hound. Yeah,
Oh
Barley
my
Hound.
God, I
Yeah.
cannot think.
We'll cut all that thinking out.
Yes.
We'll get right to
Barley
it.
Hound.
to the point.
So you say Barley Hound, dude?
Yes, Barley Hound
Yes.
up in Prescott is one of my favorite restaurants to go to. Woo!
Got there.
What about Flag? Tim spends a lot of time in Flag.
Flag. Oh, have you been to Atria?
Oh my God, yes. Amazing.
Atria, definitely.
It's new and it's the best restaurant.
Yeah, she is an amazing chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atria. What's your thought on Fat Olives? You've been to Fat Olives?
I was not a fan when I went.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and I don't think. I mean, I thought it was great. Like, if you don't know any better and you're a local, I thought it was like a great restaurant if you live there. But I was,
Didn't do it for you.
didn't do it for me.
Anything else up north? Because there's a lot of little pockets
there's
like
so many.
Cottonwood.
This is slept
and-
on Cottonwood. Do you know
Cottonwood.
the family that has like the tavern? La Crema.
It's called Bocce or something?
Bocce. They're kind of they're like the Sam Fox of Cottonwood. They have
Oh.
like, they have like 4 restaurants, not
Yeah.
hundreds, but it's really good food. And
Yeah.
their tavern hotel is awesome too. So
All right, so we're in the valley. We're in the valley. Where do we go?
The Valley of
Yeah,
the Sun.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys
Who's
are gonna
winning?
laugh because even though I've traveled everywhere, I am such a creature of habit. But like, we won't say what places I normally go to because I'm right.
We don't want to promote where you normally go.
No, you can't. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. One of my favorite Italian restaurants is Andreoli's.
Yes. Oh my
The
God.
Italian grocer.
Your street cred just rose.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
I think that I
Let's
honestly
go.
think that they're one of the best here.
I
in the
love
Valley.
it.
I
And
love
if you
it.
walk in there at lunch, soccer in a different language is
Yeah.
on the TV,
Yeah.
and there's like 7 Italian dudes drinking cappuccino, and you're like, I'm in
You're in Italy.
Florence or
Yeah.
Rome or where am I? Like, it's
We're
crazy.
doing a field trip, the 3 of us.
Where's that at?
It's the 101 and
Pima-ish, 90th,
It's like
like
North
Pima, get off
Scottsdale.
right there.
Okay.
You feel like you're in
feel
New
it.
York when you
Okay.
go. There's cigarettes being smoked
Yeah.
outside.
And there's just prosciuttos
like,
hanging.
Nice.
Like they have
Yeah.
the accent. Like
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Andreoli's is a great
He's
What do
considered
you-
one of the godfathers of Arizona.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. What is your go-to? Is it Italian, Mexican? You mentioned about the Asian scene here.
One of my go-to is I went to high school with the owners. It's in my neighborhood. I live at Loco Patron.
Whoa.
Wow. All right.
All the street cred you earned with Andreoli's.
Cut that out. Wait, we got to cut. What?
So she's a real person. I like
Hey,
authenticity.
it's real.
Well, didn't they have one down in the foothills?
So
Yeah, that
yeah,
close.
they're
Yes.
actually opening a 5th location I just saw,
Really?
which I was so
Wow.
shocked. Yeah, I went to school with Jeremy at Red Mountain, so I have a love for it. He's such a nice guy. I've been going there for years. Listen, when I'm not working, I need very simple. I want to go in
love
like
it. Yeah.
jogging pants and a tank
Yeah.
top. I don't even want anyone to be like, "Are you
Fair.
drink easy?"
Right,
Like,
yeah.
like I have like glasses on. I even try to look like crap. Please no. Like,
It happens naturally for me.
I think that I've always thought their margaritas are excellent, and I just go there and I get their wings and their award-winning crunchy taco like all the time. I
love it.
I'm there probably once a week, and then if I'm out midweek, I'm working to get out of the office, and I bring my laptop, and I'll probably just go to Society, which is down the
Ooh, I
road.
didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never been.
I just drink wine, put in my ear pods, and eat. And like, I am a very simple person when it comes to actually going out.
Okay, how about if I got friends or family coming in from out of town, and I'm gonna keep them local in Chandler or Gilbert, Arizona. Where am I taking him?
Some burros.
Boom.
Duh.
That's going to make the short.
Absolutely. After I take him there for lunch, where do I take him to dinner? Yeah.
Isabel's.
Plug, yes.
Well done.
We actually do that a lot in my family, just when we're having restaurant conversations. Like, if you had a family member, it's exactly that, and you were going to bring them to Arizona for 5 meals, what restaurants would they be? What are some of yours?
Glybon.
Glybon.
Never heard of it.
Nope. What do we got?
Oh, that's like
Glybon.
Glybaan.
Hello?
I was way off.
Glybon.
What
Yeah.
kind of food?
It's Thai. It is so freaking good.
Where is it at?
It's in Phoenix, like I don't know, Thomas and something. It's out of this world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just I'm rapid firing on you now. Best patios. I already said Zocalo, but they're out of business now. Recreo, but other just patios, just with a great vibe.
Oh, this is different. I go here for sunset views. Have you been to the Thirsty Camel?
No.
I've been going to the Thirsty Camel for years. It's at the Phoenician. The best sunset views ever.
This is
it's
amazing.
Yeah, you
beautiful.
might want to pay attention if you're listening,
Yes.
and you're a guy that goes, "You never,
me anywhere
or you say, I don't know what to do on date night." Like you are getting 10 ideas right now.
Write them down.
Yeah.
Put them in your phone.
Oh, the best.
Thirsty
sunsets.
camel.
Thirsty camel.
Thirsty.
Camel. So
Shit.
many jokes there.
Been going there
Yeah.
for like 15 years.
Have you eaten Vero pizza? It used to be called Buddies in Queen Creek. Vero is the rebrand of theirs. They have 5 locations now.
No, but I'm always down to. My ex-husband is from New York, so we used to spend summers in New York. So I've eaten a lot of great. I've eaten at Pepe's in Connecticut.
New Haven.
New Haven. I just had. It was the best pizza I've ever had. I didn't even know I was there. I was just in San Francisco for my birthday, and I found this pizza place, and I was just like, I'm gonna like stop there and eat there. And the line was kind of decent, so I went and sat at the bar. And this guy next to me, I go, "What should I get?" And he goes, "The margarita. They only make like 100 a day." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And so then my boyfriend flew in later that week, and I go, because he's a big pizza fanatic. He even is in a crazy pizza group on Facebook. And I go, "We got to go check this place out. You're going to love it." And he looks and he goes, "This is the guy that made the pizza Bible." He's like, "This is the pizza place?" And I was like, "Yes." He's like, "No wonder why it's so freaking good."
The Pizza Bible?
The Pizza Bible.
Is that it's a book?
book.
Oh, shit.
I don't know if any of our guests, I don't know how our listeners are going to feel about this episode, but my mind is blown right now. Like,
they still
this
there?
is like one of my favorite topics, and I don't even care if they stop listening or whatever. Like hearing about all these restaurants, the Pizza Bible, the VPN rating, this is like Disneyland for me. Well, I know we're running up against it right now. Melissa, this has been amazing.
I want to do it for 4 more hours.
I know.
And just keep going restaurant to restaurant.
I have one. Because this seems to be like your nerd haven for all you guys. It's its own little world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these names that you're bringing up, I don't know. That's not my world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Even the restaurants, you don't. A lot of them, you won't.
Yeah.
Like you guys
talk
to
to
more 6 nights a week.
Well,
so
exactly. I go
he's
to
a good
Isabel's
friend.
More on the corner of Val Vista and Williamsfield. You guys talk about Tucson. I used to get excited to go down to Tucson to go to Jimmy John's. That was
EG's? You didn't even say EG's for crying out loud.
Oh yeah, that's
because it was the first place they had a Jimmy John's on
Is that
campus.
true? That was true?
No joke. Jimmy John's on campus. That was the first one I ever ate at.
Oh, man.
That's
We've
bad. I
we've
know.
set your bar here.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a culture.
I've got growth still in front of me. So.
We can help you.
Hey,
Lots of
this
growth.
has been amazing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so glad you came in. I'm glad it finally
thank
worked
you.
out for everybody, and can't wait to talk to you soon and follow your amazing career.
Awesome. Thank
Thanks,
you so much
Melissa.
for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, now give me just a little bit, and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. Sugar taste, sweet coffee, give me just a little bit. Give me just a little bit, and I don't need a lot. Open up your heart, show me what you got. Sugar taste.